Hello, my name is Anthony, and welcome back to Break the Twitch. Well, no, my name is Anthony, never mind. I recently made a video called 10 Helpful Minimalism Guidelines. It was a video all about the guidelines and rules that I found very helpful in my own minimalism practice. People seem to like that video, so I decided that I would do another one on the second topic of Break the Twitch, habits.
Break the Twitch.
The first one is this. Start smaller than you think you need to. We often try to go too big, too fast, and it's not gonna end well. Start smaller and easier so that there's very little resistance to doing the habit. Guideline number 2, do not, under any circumstance, aim for 100%. Humans kinda suck when it comes to hitting 100% capacity all the time. So if your goal is to work out 7 days a week, you're gonna have a bad time, and I guarantee it. That's inevitably gonna fail, it's not gonna work. So, don't aim for 100%. Give yourself some breathing room, let it flow. Guideline number 3, be kind to yourself. If you try to hit 100% and you fail, and you feel guilty about failing, and then you feel shame about feeling guilty about failing, you might not go back and do it again. So be kind to yourself. Realize you might miss a day, you might screw it up, and that's okay. It's perfectly fine. And that's because of guideline number 4. Restarting is much more important than missing. So if you miss a day, it's cool. Let it go, restart. Doesn't matter if you missed a couple days, just restart. The key to sustaining any habit is being okay missing a day, but restarting without guilt, without shame. Just let it go, hop right back up on there. It'll be perfectly fine. And for guideline number 5, we're going to need to do some math. And that math is action over outcome. As a math problem, that really doesn't make much sense. But when it comes to habits, it makes all the sense in the world. And here's why. You can't control outcomes on a day-to-day basis, but you can control your action. So when you're building a habit, focus on the action you want to take, like going to the gym 4 times a week. Do not focus on setting a goal around the outcome of that habit. It's a surefire way to lose motivation if one day you don't see results. Focus on showing up in the way that you know will get you to that eventual goal, and then just check those boxes, take an action. Just like that. Boom, 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 bah, just like that. Guideline number 6. The goal is never to do as much as possible today. It is to do it again tomorrow. So when you're working out, again, to use that example, if you work out so hard that you can barely walk, there is a 0% chance that you're going to go to the gym again the next day or probably the day after that. Thus defeats the process of building a habit. Just do enough so that you show up, you can check off that box, and be ready to do it again on your next scheduled day. Boom, boom, bah! I promise it will have so much better results over the long term. Guideline number 7. Instead of trying to remove a bad habit, instead, just focus on starting a good habit. Anytime I've tried to just remove a bad habit without replacing it with something better first, it hasn't gone super well. So, what's worked for me, start a good habit, just focus on building that habit and let that bad habit exist alongside of it. Eventually, you can make the transition, push over, and use that good habit to really keep things strong. It's worked well for me. Guideline number 8. Discipline is great. That wasn't supposed to rhyme. Discipline is great, but your environment is more important than your discipline. Discipline is fickle. You don't know what day you're gonna be more motivated than others. So here's the thing. If you don't wanna eat jelly beans, if you have a giant bowl of jelly beans on your kitchen table that you walk by every time you come in and out of the house, you're probably gonna wanna eat some jelly beans. So this is where you can use the concept of minimalism to remove distractions from your environment. In this case, a distraction is a jelly bean. So clear that stuff out and create an environment that's going to facilitate your good new habit. It makes it so much easier so that you don't always have to depend on the discipline of doing the thing that you want to do. Design an environment that helps. Guideline number 9. What matters with habits is a consistent average speed. If you're going on a long road trip and you go the speed limit, let's say 60 or 70 miles per hour, you're going to be able to go that speed consistently for hours and hours and hours without getting pulled over or breaking down, let's say. If you go 100 miles an hour, you might get further in the first hour or so, but when you get pulled over the first time, it's going to delay you by 30, 40 minutes, depending on how long the officer takes to give you a ridiculous ticket for going 30 miles an hour over the speed limit. Over the course of an entire road trip, by going the speed limit, you will get better gas mileage, you will get there sooner, and have a lot fewer police fines to pay for speeding. If you're going really fast, you get tickets. The starting and stopping will significantly slow you down. I know it's hard to believe, but the same thing applies to habits. Slow and consistent beats fast and reckless every single time. The 10th and final guideline is that you must apply Newton's third law of physics to the practice of habits. And that is, every habit has an equal and opposite habit. So the harder you try to start a habit, the harder you start out right in the beginning, the harder the resistance is that's gonna come back and smack you in the face. It's not gonna feel good. You're building up a muscle. You're building up your discipline, your routine, and your ability to stick with that routine. So if you start slow, you'll only have a little bit of bounce back to deal with along the way. If you start too fast, it's like whipping a tennis ball at the wall and expecting it to not come back and hit you in the face. Do just as much as you can handle and then do it again tomorrow. Yeah, I think that's it actually. That's everything I've learned about habits and how to actually maintain and keep a habit over the last several years. In fact, even in the last 6 months, I've been using these strategies to get a lot of things done. We started a podcast. I've increased my squat over 120 pounds in the last 3 months just by using this slow and steady technique. I've lost 30 pounds just consistently working out a little bit several days a week. It really is simple stuff. We just tend to beat ourselves up if we fail, fall off the horse, and then it's really hard to get started again. But if you use these guidelines, I promise things will get easier. It just takes time. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out this one about 10 helpful minimalism guidelines, or you can go ahead and subscribe to Break the Twitch. I make content about minimalism, habits, and creativity, and how we can all do more of what matters each and every day. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.